Vids. Oh, here. Georgia voters brace for the end of the fiery runoff to decide the Senate
The
balance
battle
of
for
power.
those two Georgia Senate seats has been heated and often ugly in recent weeks. High stakes as Democrats and Republicans vie for control of the Senate. So our Steve Osunsami, who's based in Atlanta, gives us a closer look now at what's been driving the race and whether it will drive voters.
Did I vote in Georgia? Yeah, illegally. And 10 times.
The polls.
While the political circus that has surrounded the November election became more avoidable for many Americans a week after they voted, it continues to grind on for voters in Georgia who will choose 2 U.S. senators on Tuesday.
Tomorrow is Georgia's day.
And in the process, decide whether Republicans or Democrats control the U.S. Senate.
Everything is at stake. Everything is at stake.
The political attack ads from both sides are to this very moment inescapable in Georgia.
That's their goal. Total radical control to bring horrific change to America.
On television, on the radio.
Bro, horrific change, dude. You know, horrific change. Like, what will be the horrific change? Big exit poll. What is this? CBS News, Georgia runoff exit poll, early data. Do you think the 2020 presidential election in Georgia was conducted fairly? Yes. No, we already saw this. Containing the COVID, 52%. Rebuilding the economy now, even if it hurts the efforts to contain, 42%. Yeah, exit polls are bullshit. Reminder, but the early exit polls are saying no. Even though the exit polls are showing things that are positive for the Democrats right now, that is not all that meaningful.
On every phone in the state.
If you want some of Senator Perdue's time, you got to pay for it.
Even to get to the new Taylor Swift video on YouTube, you have to first sit through a campaign ad if you're watching from a screen in Georgia. So many here are sick of it, all the fighting and name-calling. On this side, Senator David Perdue, who's self-quarantining tonight after being exposed to the coronavirus. He's called his opponent, Democrat Jon Ossoff, a
communist Jew. I said it. He's Jewish. Have you noticed? He admitted it in a debate. Georgians.
communist and a job killer who he says plans to bankrupt Medicare.
The choice.
When we made his nose larger in our advertisement, we wanted to know. We wanted to let everybody know that we were doing racial stereotypes. But then he himself admitted it on stage, folks. A little anti-Semitic, don't you think? Yeah, it was literally anti-Semitic when he fucking made Jon Ossoff's nose larger on a campaign ad. Yes, that actually happened. All Republicans say we rigged the election, but didn't Trump try and add fake votes to the Georgia Senate election?
The choice in this race is between going to a socialist state that they're trying to describe and freedom.
Ossoff has called Perdue a coward and a crook, saying that Perdue argued against the...
Kelly Loeffler made radical liberal Reverend Raphael Warnock's skin darker. They made Warnock blacker, and they fucking photoshopped Ossoff's nose to make it seem larger. Just remember that.
Science during the COVID crisis, but then traded COVID-related stocks. Perdue keeps saying that he's done nothing wrong.
It's not just that you're a crook, Senator. It's that you're attacking the health of the people that you represent.
In the other race, Senator Kelly Loeffler, one of the owners of the WNBA Atlanta Dream and one of the wealthiest lawmakers in American history, who says that her opponent, Reverend Raphael Warnock, is out of touch with Georgia voters because he's, quote, a radical liberal.
In January, I have one of the most radical opponents on the Democrat ticket in the whole country, in Raphael Warnock.
College students who were watching this debate were playing drinking games with how many times she used the phrase.
Radical liberal, radical liberal, radical liberal, Raphael Warnock. You've just heard radical liberal Raphael Warnock lie again.
She said it 13 times in that one evening.
So she's continued to misrepresent my record. She's lied not only on me, but on Jesus.
Loeffler's campaign has taken clips from the Reverend's sermons and used them to say that he's anti-police, anti-military, and anti-Semitic.
Nobody can serve God and the military.
Raphael Warnock attacks our military.
Warnock is the pastor of the church that was led by Dr. Martin Luther King, and he fought back with video of Loeffler standing at the pulpit in the same church, clearly unoffended by the pastor sitting nearby, a preacher who she now repeatedly describes as the most radical and dangerous candidate in America. The attacks have lit a fire under black voters who feel that Loeffler has crossed a line. A group of black pastors wrote her an open letter telling her to stop, writing that we see your attacks against Warnock as a broader attack against the black church and faith traditions for which we stand. The tenor has brought racists out of hiding who've now flooded the phone lines of this historic black church with racist messages and recordings.
That son of a said Trump supporters going to be beaten so bad they can't walk. That ain't a man of God. That's a...
They literally said, like, beaten electorally. And that wasn't even Warnock who said it. It was Ossoff who said it. And it was very clear that they were talking about the election and not, like, literally beating them up. It's John Ossoff. He's like a regular staple neoliberal. Like, what do you mean?
Oh, you're so evil. Evil, 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 evil. The evilest pastor I've ever seen.
Georgia has a runoff system where if a candidate...
Yeah, it's like that fucking meme where it's the King of the Hill meme, but it's like Bobby holding up that sign outside of the classroom, and then the other person saying like, oh, they'd be real angry if they knew how to read. It's literally that meme, okay? It's straight up. These people, if they knew how to read, they'd be so mad, dude. Except they're mad because they don't know how to read. And that is their greatest advantage. Because the greatest advantage for the Republicans is that, like, you know, literacy levels are fucking bottom of the barrel. No more King of the... Dude, okay, you've been fucking annoying me all goddamn day. You feel me? No more King of the Hill references, dude. Done. I'm done with you. Fuck you, dude.
Candidate for office doesn't win 50% of the vote, the top two candidates face off again in a runoff election. If it weren't for the runoff, Warnock would have won in November and Ossoff would have lost. Polls put the race as even tonight, and more than 3 million Georgians have already voted, which is fewer than the number who voted in November, but a far larger turnout than what's typical for a runoff election. What's also telling, turnout in early voting and the mail-in vote so far appears higher in the blue counties in and around Atlanta, where most of the state's residents live.
Georgia patriots must show up and vote.
The incredibly large shadow over this election is coming from this man, the President of the United States, who has been refusing to accept the truth that he lost the election in Georgia in November by a slim margin of nearly 12,000 votes. This is a state with a Republican governor, and the Secretary of State who runs the elections in Georgia is not only a Republican, but a Trump supporter who was endorsed for office by the president himself. Now the president can't stand the guy because he's refusing to overturn the election results over allegations of widespread voter fraud.
Like, it's not like we're watching, you know, some like leftist outlet, dude. But Donald Trump's actions have been so psychotic that, like, even conservative adjacent ABC News primetime, okay, which is like probably still the most, it's probably still the most popular broadcast in the entire planet, or not in the entire planet, but definitely in America. Like, when they are covering the actions that took place accurately, it still comes across as yeah, that was a real American moment for me. I got the bolo tie on, brother. I'm basically saying, you know, American news is the most important news in the planet, brother. You already know it. I thought it was Fox News. No, apparently ABC primetime news is like literally hitting numbers that like you can't even reach on cable news.
With no evidence. State investigations and dozens of court cases haven't found any reason or evidence to cast any doubt on the election results in Georgia.
Well, Mr. President, the challenge that you have is the data you have is wrong.
And now there's a recorded phone call where the president can be heard trying to pressure Georgia's Secretary of State into finding votes for the president after the election has already been certified.
All I want to do is this. I just want to find 11,000.
Yeah, ABC has 5.7 million, NBC has 4.9 million, Fox only has 4.3 million. So ABC is still the ABC primetime news is still the, I mean, it's not network television, so it's different. Wait, or is ABC network? I thought like Fox has a much larger online presence. Networks and cable ratings aren't in the same category. You're right. Yeah, cable news and network news is different. I think. Or ABC is Disney. I don't know how it's fucking done. OAN is nowhere near that. It literally doesn't matter. Anyway, whatever.
780 votes, which is one more than we have, because we won the state.
The president has also talked trash about Georgia's Republican lieutenant governor, who has defended the election here. He says the president's phone call was unfortunate. Do you at all worry that it might hurt their chances tomorrow in any way?
It doesn't help them. I can't think of a single scenario where that phone call for 62 plus minutes made any sort of difference in getting David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler reelected.
Senators Perdue and Loeffler were put in a terrible position. Side with the president or with state Republicans who refuse.
Why is that a terrible position? They don't give a fuck, dude. They just want to win. And they believe that sucking on Donald Trump's toes, sucking the toenail jam out of under Donald Trump's toes is going to be the only way that they can fucking drive turnout. And that's it. They will fucking get those toe jams, dude. They will suck literally the crusty fucking gooch butter if they have to. Yeah, puke it up, dude.
Used to cave to the pressure. They chose the president.
And I'm still shocked that a member of the Republican Party would tape a sitting president and then leak that. It's disgusting in my view.
President-elect Joe Biden also.
What's the point of siding with the president and ruining your chance if he's out of office in 2 weeks? Because there is no base. Donald Trump is the base. He controls the Republican Party. He controls the base. The actual voters are very different than the interests of the corporate overlords within the Republican Party. They're not just going to go out and vote Republican. They want to go out and vote Republican because Daddy Trump is a Republican now. They love Daddy Trump. They don't just have party loyalty. They also have Trump loyalty. And because this is a race within the margins, like, they can't fucking avoid throwing out so many significant votes by alienating Donald Trump. And Trump is straight the fuck up a petty bitch who loves drama. He will literally be like, don't vote for Loeffler. She's bad. Don't vote for her. She's bad. And they will literally, and some of those hogs won't vote for her. And then she's fucked.
Also came to Georgia, and right now, in the eyes of state Democrats, he walks on water. His victory here was something that President Obama was unable to achieve twice, turning Georgia blue.
I know this campaign has been exhausting. It's been intense. It's been nonstop. But I'm asking you to give everything you've got one more day. One more day. And that one more day, this is not hyperbole. You can change America.
It is not lost on Georgia voters in any way that the rest of the country is watching this election closely and that this decision is significant. Every day in the mail, voters here are getting handwritten reminders from voters on other sides of the country. It's an overwhelming amount of attention, and people here can't wait till it ends. For ABC News Live, I'm Steve HasanAbi in Atlanta.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos.
People are saying boycott any Democrats running for office, even if they're progressive. Yeah, who gives a fuck, dude? Like, who cares? Those people are irrelevant.